doesn't happen. Maybe you take something, you know, maybe you take a sleeping pill to knock you out, or a Benadryl or something like that, right? Not really optimal. There's a better way to live, you know, and that's what we work with a lot of our patients to try and, you know, shine light on these different things, no pun intended. Yeah, so autophagy is a big deal. Autophagy, let's move on here. So we talked about MTOR, right? It's MTOR, mammalian target of rapamycin. It's a big one, right? I don't expect you guys to learn this or remember this, but you know, I always try to make up different mnemonics and like different ways of thinking things to remind myself. But the real thing with MTOR is that this is where, when it's stimulating, we're growing. And we want that. So when we're eating, that MTOR is kicking in and we're growing cells. When we're not eating and we're fasting, our body's cleaning and it's hitting that autophagy. It's clearing out toxins. Your liver takes a break and doesn't have to metabolize nutrients. The digestive tract can heal, right? If there's no traffic on the road, you can fix the road, right? But if there's traffic on the road, you can't fix it. So the gut is constantly having food run through it. It's not a real healthy situation for the gut. So we need periods of not eating, and we recommend here at Advanced Rejuvenation, folks do 2 meals a day, skip breakfast. It's called intermittent fasting. And we have techniques to help people kind of dive into that a bit because it can be a bit difficult. If you guys are hearing me, go ahead and press like, and I'll know that. If the volume's okay and you guys can see okay, that'd be great. Thanks. So I hope this is starting to make sense, right? This is like, I'm starting to get you guys a picture of like, okay, what's really a functionally correct life look like, and how have we gotten here? It's, you know, we've been brainwashed by the food companies, you know, and by misinformed medical professionals. I mean, my gosh, you don't eat for a day? Oh my, it's like, it's the end of the world. Did you know the longest documented fast was a year? This guy weighed 400 and something pounds. A year later, he weighed, I think, like 180, and all he did is a multivitamin a day. That's it, documented medical. Because the guy could actually use his fat as energy. So it's called keto adaptation. When the body starts to be able to use fat as energy, it becomes keto adapted. We never give our bodies a chance to do that because we're always eating. So the body's always efficiently getting energy from carbs and sugars, right? And protein too, because the body can take proteins and convert them into sugars and carbohydrates very easily. So what we talk to a lot of our patients about is keto, becoming keto adapted, and ketosis, intermittent fasting, and really a lot of this stuff is rooted in this MTOR and this circadian rhythm and getting people to sleep better, and autophagy. You got to have that autophagy. So when you start to really know how this stuff works, it was like, hey, this is really important stuff, right? Okay, the main regulator of autophagy is, it says here, dietary amino acids, so it's proteins. So when we're eating, huge activator of autophagy. So this is MTOR. You'll know that that's growth. When you don't have MTOR, that's good. You want to inhibit MTOR. There's a lot of things that are MTOR inhibitors. There's different supplements. You might want to start to learn about that. We may touch on that a little bit today, I don't know. But we're able to actually target certain nutrients and supplements to even kick in that mTOR suppression even more, where we get an even stronger effect with mitophagy. And you know, we had talked about earlier about like 10-pass hyperbaric ozone and CVAC and some of the treatments that we do here. And so one of the things that's really awesome is if we have people come in a fasting state and they're already kicking in that mitophagy, they're making those new mitochondria, and then you kick in that ozone into the blood, right? With the 10-pass, the blood comes out, it's mixed with ozone, and then it goes back into the body, and that's done 10 times. So I would recommend anybody to take a look at our website and look at that page on 10-pass hyperbaric ozone, because there's nothing stronger to promote mitophagy and mitogenesis to get more energy. and then this would be an inhibitor. You don't want this going on at the same time that you're doing that. But if you do the mitophagy strongly, your body goes back and it actually grows more robustly. It's really interesting. They found that when you're in a fasting state, your growth hormone goes way up, way up. Bodybuilders are now finding that they eat less. They're doing this intermittent fasting, and it's something called time-restricted eating, where you're eating within a certain window every day. And the bodybuilders are doing this and doing a couple-day fast here and there, and they're getting a lot better results because they're actually able to have a stronger signal to mTOR because they've gone and allowed their body to go through natural fluctuations that are natural and normal. Because if you think about it, 100, 200, 300 years ago, we didn't have refrigerators. We had periods of time when we didn't have access to food. So our body has been adapted to actually go through periods of not eating. It's normal. So if you have doctors telling you, oh, don't, it's not healthy to skip a meal, make sure you have a meal, total bull. Now, if you're not keto adapted, sometimes what can happen is your blood sugar can drop, and we don't feel good when that blood sugar drops. It's not a great thing. But if you do it right, which we can talk about right ways to do it, maybe we'll do another Facebook Live, and you're dipping your toe in slowly, your body starts to get keto adapted, fasting becomes very easy. And in fact, the ketones that are released with fasting are much more efficient than glucose. And that's why, because think about it, like we were out hunting and we were hungry. Our brain needs to be more efficient, like when we're trying to catch a predator, versus if we're just sitting around and we're fat and hungry. Not hungry, right? We're eating. So, the ketones are, once you get fat adapted and you become keto adapted, it's pretty awesome. You can, like, I haven't eaten yet today and I feel terrific. But, I will have a big meal for dinner. I'm doing one meal today. I don't always do it that way, but right now I've got a lot of great autophagy going, and my brain has got lots of great ketones, and I feel very clean and have a lot of energy, which is a normal state. So these are things that increase autophagy: intermittent fasting, limiting caloric intake, the ketogenic diet, we talked about that, protein fasting, sleep, which is the topic of this presentation. We're talking about sleep, but sleep really triggers a lot of autophagy. High interval training. So one thing that a lot of athletes are doing is they're actually doing intense exercise while they're in a fasting state and finding that they're having great results with their exercise. Green tea, coffee, ginger, these are all things that can really kick in autophagy. Supplements, resveratrol, curcumin, reishi mushrooms, nicotinamide, and lithium. All of those are good activators or inhibitors of mTOR, which promote autophagy. So we're talking about this rhythm. It's very linked to sleep. So if you're not sleeping properly, that rhythm of autophagy is going to be kind of sluggish as well. Unique and powerful formulations and delivery systems, sustained release technology, and specialized probiotic strains that support specific therapeutic targets. For more information about our exciting product lineup, you can go to advancedbiocorp.com, or you can email us at info@advancedbiocorp, or give us a call. Remember, if healing is possible, consider it to be within your reach. Bye for now.